Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to the first video of 2025. Today, we're going to be focusing on vitamin and whether they work and how beneficial they are. Today, we're going to be working with a company called Vitl. Now, Vitl is not gifted, added, or sponsored by anything. It's just one of those companies that they've got a lot of range and they've got a lot of information in terms of vitamin, and I felt really comfortable with using them. Of course, you can go with any other company if you prefer, but please do not use this video as the only source that you're looking for. Get medical advice, get nutritious advice, whatever. Now, this is a subscription-based vitamin provider whereby you fill out the information on a questionnaire associated to the things that you're looking for, your goals, and also the things that you're concerned about. Now, obviously, if you manipulate the questionnaire so that you might not necessarily be lying, but not necessarily being accurate with your information, it will also be reflected in the actual vitamins that you've been given as a selection of what would be beneficial to you. For me, I'm working on a couple of things. IBS is a high point for me because having this condition kind of is annoying in terms of like just day-to-day food consumption. The other things is typically cell regeneration, hair and skin. I think even at a really young age, I think you should start looking after it by just adding small supplements. I don't necessarily think it should be through a pill, it could be through food. And then anything else would be a bonus, I guess. So the questionnaire is on the website. You go through a number of things and then you select it through. And for me, it narrowed it down to 4 things, of which I have no understanding of the science of it or in any way understand the ideal of the practicality behind it either. Now, the first one is CoQ10, no idea, not a scientist. So it basically just helps you protect your cells from damage. Again, don't quote me. This is something that I'm not familiar with. Now, the other 3 is collagen strength. That's particularly for the hair, skin, and nails and joints. Rejuvenate. It's not really a pill name. It just says rejuvenate. It's for energy and metabolism. And finally, the thing that I'm focusing on really is the biotic balance, which is good bacteria to help your gut health. I feel like that one's probably the most important one for me. Now, let's rewind and go back to 2024. Okay, day 1 of taking this at night. These are what they look like. We'll just tear them apart. They should be quite satisfying to tear. I'm whispering because people are asleep. It's really late. There you are. Pretty stinky as well. It's proper nasty actually. Oh. Okay, quite lucky that I don't struggle with taking tablets. I don't have a fear of it. Okay, that was day 1. Good night. Okay, so it's the last night of taking these vitamin tablets at night. I'm going to swap it over when I'm in Greece. We're going to be in Greece for the same number of days that I need to take these, so I can test between the 2. Obviously, there might be environmental changes, but everything practically stays the same. I'm just taking it in the morning instead of night. Depending how late it is, tends to find it harder to digest the tablets, more so than usual. Nothing else like, crazy. It was just like, I think 1 or 2 nights where I was just like, oh, I can feel the tablet coming up again. That's about it. That's more my fault for bad planning, because I said that I will have it like literally not before bed, like not right before bed, but like before bed, after dinner sort of scenario. Right now, this is like the perfect timing. I'm going to bed now. I'm in my PJs. So the plan is, to take these and then go to bed, and then I'll see you in Greece where we will test it in the morning.
Have you forgotten how to drink water?
Progressively worse. No, stop, don't panic. Day 1 done, let's go. Look at that. It's so early. We're actually heading to the gym. We're heading to the gym right now. Trying to burn off those 4 plates that I have. Having a gym is such a novelty, and this really inspired me to go back to the gym and do weights instead of just cardio for 2025. What's that? The spinach one? Oh, nice.
It's vitamin time.
Some vitamins?
Yeah.
I forgot it. Thank you. This is actually the last one, actually. I feel like people are not going to appreciate.
What's that, vitamins?
Not alcohol, by the way. It's just peach juice. I don't want people to get worried.
Yeah. That's what they all say.
Last two. They're sticking together because I'm wet. Last one. The little one.
You good?
Yeah. Thank you. And that is the end of our holiday. As our body and our mind rested, there were quite a few other elements that actually took effect with the vitamin. Now, the one big thing that I noticed was my nails. My nails grew so much over the course of 1 week, and I really think it comes down to the actual vitamins that I'm taking. Okay, right. Okay, that was 2024. That was 14 days. Actually, that's 13 days. Now, I saved one. I saved one because I was curious as to the actual product itself. Now, I found that the actual products were quite helpful in a way. So there's certain things that are really difficult to test. I wouldn't ever know whether it protected my cell from being damaged or not, or whether that I felt like properly rejuvenated or like my metabolism is improving, purely because on some of the days I was on holiday, so I was obviously going to be much more positive and therefore more energetic, and I'm not working and therefore I'm able to rest, which basically means everything spikes up in a positive way. So it's going to be hard to test those things, but I definitely feel like for the collagen strength and the biotic balance, I definitely think a huge difference were made, especially from someone who's got IBS. Traveling to Greece, I mean, there's a lot of food that are really good, high quality compared to over here, but also at the same time you never know, and is therefore is a really complicated relationship. Really interestingly, I found that I never had a stomach issue throughout the 7 days, which goes to show that the actual biotic balance really helped as a result of like having it in the morning, setting myself up for success for the day, and actually feeling comfortable and not really like too bloated, stuffy, or like worried about my tummy issues. That is definitely a bonus, and I do give this specific product a high rating for that. However, I guess the downside of this thing is it's extremely expensive, especially from a subscription point of view, but also from a regular purchase. Now, if you guys can afford it, I definitely recommend it. I really like how personalized it is, because I don't necessarily need to take an A to Z sort of vitamin and hope that I cover everything. I also worry about actual absorption. So obviously it's so difficult for someone who's no science background or anything be able to understand the absorption of these pills. But finally, also, if you think it's working and it makes you feel good, then go with that. That's how I'm applying this. So the main focus is the biotic balance for me. I honestly think if I can isolate that and just grab that, I would. The cost of one of these for a subscription monthly is around about £40. It's $39.95, I think. So if it's something that you can get and sell, then go for it. I think it's really worth testing if something is, you're intrigued by it. I recommend getting further help as well in terms of nutrition and supplement, because it's just one of those things that it's worth testing, but it's not worth, taking a big leap if you don't know enough about your body. Finally, as a part of my New Year's resolution, and being able to test it last year, I have decided to get a couple of I have decided to get much more specific supplements, at a lower cost so that it's a much more achievable and the goal is not so big. And it really is just for the biotic gut thing and the collagen, because I think those two are strictly the thing that I'm focusing on. So when I said 13 days, it's because I saved one back. I saved one back because I was always intrigued as to like the actual viability and like the long shelf life of this. Vitl vitamin has a very short shelf life, and you can see from here, don't know if you guys can see it, but it looks kind of, I don't know, like it's gone off, and like the product itself doesn't look at its original packaging. Now, if that is something that, I mean, I'm not going to allow that to contribute to my conclusion, because I feel like I did that on purpose to see what would happen. But when I checked the product itself, it does have a very short shelf life. Don't know if that's a good thing, because obviously to keep in terms of the quality of it. But it's also something that I really wanted you guys to know, because that's something that I experienced. Obviously, it's 2025. I'm not going to consume that. I'm going to throw that away. The final point for me is that the product itself can be very, very wasteful. What I mean by that is the additional packaging, the plastic, all that sort of stuff. I think that's the sort of downfall that I don't really want to expend more time explaining. Make up your own conclusion, obviously. I'm still very glad that I went through this trial, because it actually taught me a lot more about my body and what I need. And honestly, I think the product's worthwhile, especially if you're trying to get the result that you need out for this year and your New Year's resolution. If you guys are intrigued, I definitely recommend going through the trial, at least doing the questionnaires. The questionnaire is free. It's a free quiz so that you can find out what you think your body needs, and then you can always narrow it down. And you can use that information in other ways to sort of steer it, whether you just want to isolate it or you want to buy something that covers everything. It's a really good way of navigating through supplements and like vitamins. Please get proper advice, and also sort out the right people to deal with this. Don't stick with my words. I would worry if you did. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said earlier, all the information and any links that I've used in this video will be down below. I hope you enjoy the holiday content. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a winter fever, just because I'm really missing like the beach, the sun, hot weather. It's so cold right now. We're currently in -1 degrees. So I really love watching back the content. As always, I'm going to love you, leave you. Thank you for watching.